Good morning, gentle viewers. Welcome to another edition of Uncle Bobby's Cybertronian Corner. It's also the 4th of July, so for those who celebrate, happy 4th. Uh, Before we get into the bot, we might as well get into the weekly announcements. Joshy is doing okay, I guess. I tried to get in touch with him this week, but he's a Marine, so hold me busy. I was texting with Lizzie. So Lizzie, the Nugget, and uh, TJ are doing well. Unfortunately, your aunt is back in the news. She's back in the hospital with pneumonia and sepsis behind her lung. They hope she'll be released by Monday or Tuesday. So if you would please put her in your thoughts, your heart, your prayers, comments, email. So for those of you who know where she is, send her a get well card or something. You know, all on you, your choice, of course. As always, your choice. um, Thank you. Um, 20 years ago, I was the treasurer for my Uncle Thomas's church. For him to become ordained and to have his house as a church, he had to have him as priest, he had to have a treasurer, and he had to have a deacon. Well, his wife was already a deacon at her church, so she had no problems filling the role of a deacon. And uh, the treasurer had to be someone of another faith. Well, since I was a Druid, Uncle Tom asked me if I wouldn't mind being a treasurer, and when he explained that I don't have to switch faiths, that it had to be someone of a different faith, then I was like, sure, then in that case, why not? Because I'm not willing to change my faith. I'm not doing that. And so we all signed the paperwork and everything else, and at that point I was considered a cleric of the Druid faith, treasurer of the Church of Universal Light, ordained by the Universal Light Church. Well, when I called them to let them know that Father Thomas had passed away and he's no longer with us, they said, thank you very much. Would you like to upgrade your status? And I'm like, what do you mean? And they said, you've been a cleric for over 20 years, you can update your status. And I'm like, to what? And they said, deacon, dean. And I said, one moment. And I went through what little scripture I've been able to throw together from the Celtic and Druid people. A deacon is a sage. So I said, sure, yeah, I'd love that. That would be wonderful. So I have now become a sage, and I can perform marriages and stuff. Woohoo! Anywho, and that is the weekly news. Thank you for sitting through that with me. Now, we're going to take a D6 and we're going to open up this book. And we have Sunstreaker, Wang Thing, Warpath, Shockwave, Shadow Panther, and Galvatron. And 5. Shadow Panther. Shadow Panther. Shadow Panther is from the Beast Wars series. However, watching the Beast Wars series all the way through, I must add, painstakingly watching the Beast Wars series all the way through, there's only one small glimpse of him and it's a maybe. Season 3, episode 5. Feral something. And you only see him in panther form. You don't even see him in robot form. I didn't see him in robot form. I watched the whole, I painstakingly watched the whole thing. Oh my God. I'm sorry, but to me it was horrible. The whole concept. You done? Okay, good. Alright. So yeah, Shadow Panther. First made in Japan by Takara. He also goes by the name of Tropical Agent, because he lives in the tropical areas, I guess. Yeah, not to be confused with Agent Ravage. He is not Agent Ravage. Not Agent Ravage. I want to get Agent Ravage because I think he's cool. And yes, I do have all my bugs and stuff, so whatever. Not to be confused with Agent Ravage, the Predacon Council spy. The first Shadow Panther, the head. Yeah, you only see his head in Beast Wars Season 3, Episode 5, Feral something. And literally, that's all the history there is on this guy. There's no other history on this guy, okay? And he has the typical Cheetor weapons, except the gut gun. He doesn't have the gut gun. He's got this tail axe thing, okay? And that's it. And that's what he's got for weapons. That's what he's got for accessories. I have the instruction manual, but he did come in a box, but I was done saving boxes. The boxes got too much. They were taking up too much room. I choose to live in a garage, and because I live in a garage, the other side of the garage has to be for the house storage. So I only have so much room. And what little storage I would take up in the garage if I had a room inside, I forfeit because I'm living in the garage. That makes sense. So, I didn't have the room for the boxes. However, I do have the room for them. So, his articulation. His head can go all the way around in a circle because it's not a ball joint. It can go all. Look how far it can go up. It can go all the way. He can almost do a Superman. Okay, and then his arm can go that far up, that far down, that far out. Now, it is on a double butterfly here, so you can put him into all sorts of really weird poses, dynamic poses, and all that. There is a waist swivel. There's a decent elbow. There is a wrist swivel. There, I believe there's a bicep swivel too. So, his leg can go out that far, forward that far, back that far. It's a decent knee. The foot can go forward, the foot can go back. It does have ankle tiltage. The back paws are fully, can go around this way. They do have a knee. They do have an ankle that you can mess with. That's its articulation. Now, its transformation. That one's easy. Okay, so take the head, cat head right here. Pull it. Pull it all the way out. So it's like that. Cat head. Okay. Now, make sure that this head is not looking up, it's looking straight. And then, oh yeah, and backwards, or else it won't fit. And then close the jaw. There, now you have concealed the head. Okay, now, as far as this part goes, straighten both arms. Okay. Making sure that the black part is facing out. Okay. Make sure that yellow ball first face it up, then out like that. Make sure the back legs stay out of your way for right now. Oh yeah. There are two side flaps right here. Right underneath that, open those up. Close the shoulders in on each other. Like that. Then you can line up those panels you just opened. Close those. Close the chest plate. Put the legs into position. There we go. There we go. Again. Again. Then you just got to, adjust the legs accordingly. and separate the legs so you can get to that I'm going to call it the tail peg because I don't want to call it the butthole or the bung hole. I don't want to do that. Alright, so readjust everything and boom, there you go. One shadow panther with tail. So, my final thoughts on the shadow panther. I bought him. I want all the cats now. There's a lion. There's an orange tiger. I want Cheetor itself. Yeah, I want all the cats. So I'm going to put him back up there like a cat. I'm going to throw this away. Then I'm going to erase his name off of the card. I'm glad he's in the collection. Like I said, I bought him. So, that's that. Shadow Panther, welcome addition to the shelves. Thank you for spending time with me. I truly appreciate it. I hope that you give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, please subscribe. And please leave me a comment either about, the Transformers, any Transformer, Shadow Panther, your aunt, or just if you want, just have a general question in general. Why is the grass green? It's chlorophyll. It's a chemical in the grass that makes it green, but otherwise, you know what I'm saying. Just a question in general, it doesn't matter. I'm Uncle Bobby, and if I don't know, I'll try to find out. So I want you to remember 3 things. 1, cats are awesome. To heck with cool. Okay? Cats are awesome. Your aunt is awesome. And she's doing better. So please keep her in your prayers. And 3, and most important, now and forever, Uncle Bobby loves you. Alrighty then. Later.